Hey Flosstube, it's Stephanie. I'm back finally after a number of months away, and I it's Christmas Eve right now, and I just wanted to record a quick video and kind of show you what I've been up to, why I've been away for so long, and just kind of check in before the end of the year. So, I'm going to show you some projects that I have actually finished, my only finishes for the year, but they're why I haven't done any videos, and a few things I've gotten, and just a little bit of an update. So, first of all, I just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody, even though I'm going to post this after Christmas, and I'll explain that in a second too, why I'm going to do that. And just wish everyone happy wishes for the new year, and I hope it's wonderful for everybody. And of course, I must say hi to Remy, Riley, and baby Sawyer. TT will see you tomorrow, and I just want to thank everyone for watching and just for all your support since I've started these videos. And thank you for your comments. They're so kind, and I'm just so very grateful. So thank you just so much for your support and your kindness. So what have I been up to? I decided to do some stitching projects, which I talked about on, I think, my last video. And I'm a slow stitcher, which I have got to come to terms with. And I have spent the last 4 months working on a few gifts for Christmas. And so even though I haven't been making videos, I've been stitching a lot, trying to get these projects done. And I'm so happy to say I finished everything that I was trying to stitch, with a couple days to spare even, and they came out better than I thought they could have. But I have been, every ounce of free time I've had, all I've done is stitched, and I can't wait for them to open their gifts tomorrow. And I'll show you what they are, tell you a little history, and these are, sadly, I feel like, my only finishes for the year, but at least I have some, so that's good. And my focus, my stitching focus for next year, I have decided, is really going to be on focusing on projects that I have started, and really focus on my whips and see what I can get accomplished in the next year. I have a few things I'm going to start, but mostly I really want to focus on the projects that I have going. I've chosen them because I love them, and I want to finish them, and so that's my stitching goal for the new year. So the first finish that I have, which I showed you this one before I started it, is for my sister, my older sister. I found, she collects cookbooks, and she's a great cook anyway, but she collects cookbooks, and I saw this canvas when I was at the Aristeo retreat in May, and it was sitting in front of me for the 3 days of the retreat, and finally on the last day I decided to buy it, and I decided I was going to stitch it for her for Christmas, and found a stitch guide from a needlepoint store back east, and stitched it up. Although I'd asked the store what size of canvas it was, and they told me it was a size that it was 18 count canvas, and it turned out to be 13 count canvas. And if I had just been paying attention, I would have been able to tell that, but I didn't. So I ordered the stitch guide for an 18 count, and then it came, and I just realized it was a 13 count canvas. So I do adapt some of the stitches just a little bit, but nothing major. And I did almost all of the threads from my stash. Some of them I bought, but I tried to do this as much from my stash as I could. And this is the first painted canvas I've ever finished. I do a lot of needlepoint, but I do a lot of counted needlepoint, just because I just can't afford to buy a lot of painted canvases. And so I did get this one. It's called Cookbooks by Alice Peterson, and this is how it came out. This is, I framed it myself, and it's kind of, you can see the reflection of the camera in it. And there's my Christmas tree. But I'll just show up close a little bit. But I am just thrilled to pieces with the way it came out. And here, I'll show up close, like you can see some of the detail on the stitches. And the colors. And as I stitched this, I have to say that I was having a hard time letting it go. The more I stitched it, the more I loved it. And I'm thinking about looking for another canvas to stitch for myself down the line. I'm a little kind of done with it right now, but it turned out so much better than I thought. And the colors just make it so vibrant and I mean, look at the detail on this one. A lot of sparkle in it. This one's, you can't really tell, this one's all sparkle, which I love. I mean, you know, I've talked about that before. I'm all about the bling. And the frame, I was a little nervous because it's kind of a funny size. It's like 9.5 by like 13.5 roughly. And so I was wondering how I was going to be able to frame it. And so I ended up finding this frame on Amazon, and it was a little bit bigger. I think it's a 11 by 15 frame, something like that, 10 by 15, something to the point that you'll see right here. I actually created a border here to make it just a little bit wider so that it would fit in the frame. This frame actually, the size of it is meant to, it came with a mat that had like 3 4x6s across, and I just took the mat out. But I did add a little bit of a wider black border around the edge. That mat, you know, it's a little, this is over 1, the border's over 2, just to fill it in. But then I also wanted a little white to show around too, so that it looked like it had a mat. But I felt like it also needed a border on the edge because some of the books are cut off. So I kind of altered the edge just a little bit. But this is the one, I just finished this the other day. And I wasn't sure that it was going to be done in time. And I was really nervous about it because the other one I'm going to show you took a really long time. And I thought, well, if it's not done, I'll just put it in a box with all the threads and say, here, I'm making this for you. And but I just really wanted it to be done. And so for the last couple of weeks, I've been stitching, you know, as soon as I got home from work, and then work has been so busy that it's just been insane. And then I would wake up about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and instantly start thinking about needing to do it, and I would get up and stitch for a couple hours before I went to work. And that's how it got done. It just, otherwise, so I would get in 2-3 hours of stitching before I would go to work. But that's why I'm recording this video today. I mean, as soon as I'm done with this video, I got to wrap this one up, wrap the other one up, and I'm giving them to everybody tomorrow. But just in case anyone in my family sees this video today, that's why I'm not posting it until after Christmas. But I needed to do this before I gave these away. So I'm just thrilled with it, and it just came out so much prettier than I thought. And I really think I'm going to make one for myself in 6 months or so. I can't stitch any more of it right now, but so that's from my older sister. And then I also made one. I'm going to show you the picture. Well, I'll show you that in a second. Because that one of them I had to ship off already, so I took a picture of it, and I'll show it to you. I have it on my tablet. But so the other one is, and this one I haven't been able to say anything about, is something I stitched for my new nephew, for Sawyer. And Sawyer was born in June, and so he doesn't really know it's Christmas, although my sister says he talks to the Christmas tree. So I said to her, is he telling it that it's sparkly? Because maybe he likes the sparkle, but he doesn't really know it's Christmas. And so I was kind of going back and forth about what do I get him? And because he doesn't understand what's going on right now. And so I decided to make him something rather than buy him a toy or something like that. There's plenty of time for that down the line. And there's many special things about Sawyer, but there's something very special about Sawyer's name. And Sawyer's middle name is Elias. And Elias is Walt Disney's father's name. And my brother-in-law is all Disney. He's everything Disney. He's all about Disney. And it's so fun to watch this part of their family. And I tell them all the time, boy, how lucky are your kids that their father loves Disney and they get to go to Disneyland and stuff all the time. And so they wanted his name to have something to do with Disney. And Sawyer does, but so does Elias. And Elias was Walt Disney's father's name. And my sister told me, I did not know this, that on Main Street at Disneyland, and I think at Disney World too, in one of the windows, you know, on the street with the buildings, on one of the second floor windows, there's a window that's dedicated to his father. And I had never seen it before. I didn't even know about it. And I thought that that was a really cool thing. And Walt Disney himself, his middle name is Elias, I believe. And then one night I was watching Saving Mr. Banks, you know, where Tom Hanks plays Walt Disney, and he talked about his father and the influence his father had on his life, and it just kind of popped into my head. And I went online and I searched for the window that she had told me about. Surely someone's taken a picture of this. And I found this. Hopefully this will work. Oh, it's not going to. It's going to glare. Oh, well. It's, oh, I wish this would work. But anyway, sorry about that. I found a picture on the internet of the window. And I decided that I was going to draw it and needlepoint it. And because I can draw, and I was going to do it, and just the prep of it was taking so long. And this was in the summer, and I hadn't even started it, and I thought I taped together pieces of graph paper to try and draw it out and needlepoint it, and it just was becoming really I just wasn't sure how it was all going to work out. And one morning it popped into my head that I had the computer program PC Stitch, I think it's called. Never even opened the box. I've had it for years. I've never even opened the box. So I pulled it out, loaded it onto my computer, and uploaded the picture, and it produced a cross-stitch chart for me. You tell it, it was so easy. It was so easy. I told it what size fabric I was going to use, which I just used 16 count Aida. And the size I wanted it to be, roughly, because I knew kind of the size I wanted it to be. And it created a chart for me. And I had it done in 30 minutes. I'd spent weeks stressing over how am I going to draw this and create this. And I had a chart within 30 minutes and was stitching that night. And so this is I wish I could show you the picture. But if you want to see, then just Google Elias Disney window and you'll find a ton of pictures of it. But this is the finished piece that I stitched for my nephew. And you can see it says Elias Disney on it. And I kind of had to freehand the lettering because the program, it created the chart, but it came out darker than the picture. And so it ended up this area here where the letters were, it was, and actually a lot down here, it was too dark. It wasn't coming out. And so I just kind of had to freehand it a little bit. And I'm trying to tilt it so you don't get the glare, but this is, and it even caught, the program even caught right there. There's always a candle burning in the window. And it even picked up the candle. And you can see the lights that sit above the window. And it came, I couldn't believe how it came out. I cannot wait for them to open this tomorrow. And I just put a little thing down there that TT did it in the year. And I am so pleased with it. I just can't wait for them to open it tomorrow. And then I'll give him toys. But for right now, because they watch this video, this is why I haven't been able to talk about it. And this is really all I've been stitching. And I started it, it's in the 1st of September, and I finished it right at the end of November. It was done. And it's all cross stitch. And it's stitched actually out to about right here. But the mat I got, I wanted the stitching to go all the way to the edge, and so that's why I got a mat that covered up the stitching a little bit. But it really goes out to about right here, about another inch all the way around. But I wanted it to be all the way under the mat, so that's kind of why I did it that way. And they can change the mat and frame and stuff if they want, but so this is for little Sawyer Elias for Christmas for tomorrow. So I'm just so excited to give it to him, and it was a joy making it for him. He's so precious, and you know, when you sit and you work on these gifts for people, I'm sure you all experience it, where I just thought about him all the time, and I would see pictures, I would see him, or I would see pictures or videos my sister would post, and to work on this and watching him grow and all the things, you know, he's almost crawling now, and he's, you know, kind of talking now, and he is talking now, and he's just so full of joy. And to sit there, and every stitch I put in, I thought about him, and it's full of love. Every stitch has love in it, and I can't wait to give it to him tomorrow. I'm so excited. My favorite thing Christmas is actually finding, you know, gifts for people that I hope they'll really love, and I love watching them open them, and so it's gonna be a good thing tomorrow. And then the third one that I stitched, that I finished, but I can't, it's the picture's on my tablet, which obviously it doesn't work to show you a picture, was for my stepmother, who loves when I make stuff for her. And so I love stitching stuff for her, because she is so appreciative of it, and it just makes her so happy. And so I really looked around for something I could stitch for her, and kind of found something that I settled on, and I thought, well, this might work, but I wasn't in love with the idea of it. And she is a hairdresser in Florida, and like 2 weeks ago, Stephanie, I think her last name Schaefer, of Pam and Steph, you all know Pam and Steph, posted a picture of a cross stitch she had made for her hairdresser. Oh, in fact, I think I have the picture right here. I think it's in here. I can find it and show it in here now that I think about it. And she posted a picture of it, and it was about hairdressers. And so I sent her a message on Instagram, and I said, oh, where did you get that? And this isn't the right one. She said, oh, it's from an old issue of, I'm looking because I think I stuck it here, of Stony Creek magazine, but I'm really sorry, I don't have it, and that's not it. But that's where it's from. If you Google it, you might be able to find it. I thought I stuck it back here. It's in this one. And so I Googled it, and it turns out that I have the magazine. I did a subscription look, I turned right to it. I did a subscription last year because I wanted the pattern for the Halloween Afghan. And so I did a subscription to the magazine to get all the patterns, and it turns out I was in one of those magazines. And so I found it, and I had it, and it was perfect. So she saved me. Thank you, Steph. You totally saved me. I stitched it up in a weekend. This is what I changed the colors on it, but that's okay. This is what it looked like. And it's from the Spring 2017 Stony Creek magazine, which I heard they're not doing subscriptions anymore. It's unfortunate. It's a great magazine. But it said, blessed are hairstylists, for they bring out the beauty in others. And so I stitched it up, shipped it off, I stitched it up, framed it, stitched it up, and sent it off in 3 days. And it was great. And it was so much better than the one I had found. It was perfect. So, Steph, I can't thank you enough for saving me and helping me to find a great gift. And to think I had it sitting here the whole time, I guess if I actually looked at the magazines that I bought, then I would know. So, it was all fortuitous. It was so perfect that I had the magazine, and it was great. So, and it turned out really cute too. So I think she'll like it. So that's what I've been working on since the summer. And you know, there's good and bad. I'm sure we all go through this. There's good and bad when you stitch for people for holidays and stuff. I don't like to have to stitch something. And of course, especially in the last month, as I've been working on these, trying to get them finished, there's been other projects. As I've seen people show their work on their mirabilias or their all different things, or the chatelaines. We'll talk about chatelaine in a minute because that's heartbreaking. But that's what I wanted to work on, and my projects were calling to me, but I needed to get these done. But when they're finished and people get them, it makes it all worthwhile. And so I have actually spent a little time yesterday and a little time this morning stitching on some of my own stuff. And you know, it's funny, I realized this morning that I have an even greater appreciation for stitching. Like, I've been feeling such joy stitching on these projects this morning, and I just love them. It was surprising to me this morning when I realized that stitching's bringing me even more joy than I thought it would. It always has brought me a lot of joy, but now I stitching on these things. I want to stitch on to give these gifts tomorrow, and I'll talk to my stepmother tomorrow. It's this. I love this world. I love the stitching world, and I feel so blessed to be a part of it, and to share it with all of you. And that's why I do these videos, because I love talking about it. I love sharing it. I love getting together each week with the stitching group that I get together with. We get together almost every weekend. We had our retreat in October, which was heaven. And I just feel very lucky. I'm just feeling very lucky today. And so that being said, I'm feeling a little mushy. I do have a little haul to show. But this will be the last of my haul for a little while. Some friends and I are doing what we call the deep freeze. And we have decided not to buy anything for a few months to try and save money and just use stuff that we already have. And we've been doing it for almost a month now, and it is hard. It is hard. But this is stuff that I actually paid off right before the freeze started. It's stuff it all comes from Cindy Sorley. Hello, we all love Cindy at Cross Stitch Buy and Sell, Stitchery Express. She's primarily where I've been buying my stuff from now, but it's so easy and she's so wonderful. So it's funny, when I was looking at what haul I had, I was like, oh, well, it all came from Cindy. And so just a few things to share, but my haul is going to be pretty non-existent for the next 6 months, but it's good because I'll be saving a lot of money, and I'm up for that. So this did not come from Cindy, but I wanted to show this because it's such an interesting project, and you can still get in on it if you want to. And it's being put out by the Embroidery Guild of America, the EGA, and it's in their magazine. When you're a member of EGA, they have a magazine that comes out, I think, 4 times a year or something, and it's a project in there. You can go on their website and buy back issues. If you're not a member of EGA, although I highly recommend being a member and getting involved with the guilds. They're really wonderful. But if you're not, you can go on their website. I forget what it is. If you Google Embroidery Guild of America, you'll find it. You can buy back issues, and it tells you which ones are for this project. And they also have a Facebook page for this project. It's called Ambrosia Honey, and this is what it looks like. That's the finished piece. It's coming out in 4 installments. I think the second installment just came out. And looking at people's you may have seen people online who are doing it. But this is the first issue, the June 2017 issue that has the first step in it. And but I haven't started it yet, but I'm just really intrigued by it. I love this. I love this ribbon. I think that's so cool. So I am collecting these magazines because someday I will do this project. But if you're interested in it, it's counted needlepoint. So if you're looking at getting started at counted needlepoint, this might be a good way to go. It's stitched, my understanding, with pearl cotton, which is nice to stitch with. It's a good starting thread to stitch with, I think. So you can look into it. I think the magazines are $7 an issue, something like that. And then I also got this pattern, thanks to Arlene Cohen, the brilliant Arlene Cohen. I just got you may have seen if you follow her that she just finished the Solar Flare pattern by Ro Pace. And as soon as I saw her work, I had to get the pattern. And she changed the colors, and she actually reversed it, if I remember right. She went from light to dark, and her colors were stunning. But this is counted needlepoint. And you can get her patterns from Sharon Quick. She's on all the needlepoint groups. She's the one who sells Rose patterns. And I like Rose designs. I'm continuing my collecting right now, because I can't stitch them all at one time, of Mirabilias, because I've now entered the world of being a Mirabilia junkie. And I just got this one called Stone Roses. And I've seen someone stitch this one up before. This one's going to be a beaut. This, on some great colored fabric, that's going to be a gorgeous one. And then you may have seen, which it's like Christmas, speaking of which, we're at Christmas, but that they release a new pattern every month. And a few months ago, it was, what is this one called? Miss Cherry Blossom, which I might stitch this one for my friend. I ordered this one from Cindy, and it came with the Krynic thread that you need with it. But then, and I got the beads. It's just easier, I think, ordering the beads like that. You can get everything all at one time. But then Cindy also, she has a couple for this, but I was really intrigued by this one. A special fabric for this one. And I don't know what it's called. Oriental Berries, it says on it. So this is the fabric for it, with cherry blossoms. And so this will sit right. She has a picture of this on her Facebook page, and you can see how it looks. But when I saw it, I have to do it. It's going to be gorgeous. It's this, I don't know how well it's coming. It's like a yellow gold fabric. And I've seen pictures of people working on it. And it's really beautiful. So that one, that will be maybe one of my starts in the new year, because I think it's really beautiful. And my my best friend loves Japanese art, and so that might be might be a good Christmas present for next year. And now that I know I can start earlier, and I got Winter Queen. I'm collecting all the queens now. I have Autumn Queen somewhere, and I thought I have not stitched any fairies, but I just thought this one was really pretty. Her name is Adia, the Garden Fairy. With the beads in that, it's got a lot of beads. That's going to be pretty. So I got, let's see what else. Some more just great fabrics from Cindy. I love her fabrics. They're really nice to stitch on. And, oh, the other new one of the other Mirabilias that came out, Lady of Mystery. She finally came. So sorry for the glare. I'm doing this kind of in the morning, which usually I do my videos in the afternoon, but I got to get this done so I get those presents wrapped. So, Lady of Mystery, and I did the same with her with the beads, and she sent the specialty fabrics, threads that you need for it. So, that's what I love about Cindy. You can order just the pattern, you can tell her you want all of them, and she packages them all up for you, and she's always just a joy to work with. So, I ordered a few Alessandra Adelaides. I don't know how well that's gonna. The pumpkin. I think I'm gonna do that one. All in beads. I think that. This darn glare. I think that would be really pretty all in beads, and this one too. This would be a good fall one, all in beads. Could do something great with that one. So both of those are going to be bead projects. And I got, these are new, I've never done patterns by this person, Rovaris, but I thought that one was great with the scissors and the alphabet. And I think I'm going to do the scissors all in beads. I'll stitch the alphabet, but I think I'm going to do the scissors and beads. I think that'll be really cool. And then this one, oh, I just thought this was cute. This one is called, I think it's just called Halloween. So I've never done patterns by this person before, so that'll be a new thing for me. I'm always looking for new designers and stuff. Few Sue Hillis that, I love Sue Hillis patterns. This one, Reindeer Games. I love reindeer. I love funny reindeer for Christmas. That'll be a cute one for Christmas, I think. And I love them as ornaments. I'll probably make a few of them as ornaments. A great Halloween. I'm just a nut for Halloween stuff. I can't get enough of it. I'm going to have to add some bling to this one. It's going to need some sparkle in it, but that'll be a fun one. And then I got one more. I think this is Sue Hillis. Yeah. Oh, I love this one. The gingerbread. I love how, you know, I've talked about I love houses. This is called Gingerbread Street. And I mean, they are cute. So that'll be a fun one. You know, that's one of the fun parts about stitching is we get to enjoy the holidays all year long, whether we're stitching Christmas or Halloween or Easter or whatever it is. I love, you know, you get to enjoy it all year long. So, and then I got this one, which, this is Stony Creek, but this one, I mean, I live in California, so I live right by the beach. But I also love Adirondack chairs. There's something about them I just love. So when I saw that one, I thought that would be a cute one for around here. A few more to show you. I got this one I love. This is Vickery Collection, and it's cross stitch. But I love their patterns, first of all. But there was something about this train that I just really loved. And so it's counted cross stitch. Holiday Train it's called. That's what it says up in the corner. Holiday Train. So I thought that was really pretty. They do a lot of Celtic stuff, which I really like. I don't like Celtic designs in that I don't like snakes and stuff like that. But I really like their patterns. And then, I think this is the last one. This one is Silver Creek Samplers. Someone just posted this morning that they finished this. It's all the different stuff about the holidays, and it was cute, the picture they posted. And so I'll work on this one. I think maybe this might be another start next year. It's just kind of cute and fun, and all about different things for Christmas. So I thought that was really cute. I've never stitched by this designer either. I'm so sorry for the glare, but hopefully you kind of get a gist of it. But if you haven't checked out Cindy's site, definitely check it out and brace yourself. You spend a lot of money, but she just is. And if she doesn't have something, if there's something you're looking for, if she doesn't have it, she'll try and find it for you. I just find it very convenient. Her shipping's very reasonable. I usually wait till I have a pretty good sized order and then have her ship it. And she's really terrific. So I can't recommend her enough. And then I just opened this morning. This is one, I learned about this from Ginger Gerald Stitcher and I've been doing this for a number of months. And these are the threads for the color and cotton floss of the month. These are the new colors. And this Floss Club only costs $10 a month, and that includes shipping. And the colors are beautiful. I love stitching with this thread too. It's strong, but the colors are really beautiful. And I find myself using more and more of these. The one I did for my stepmother, the hairstylist, the threads were all color and cotton threads. And so if you're looking for just a good, inexpensive, club to join, I've never gotten a package of threads I didn't love. This one I have sitting here because I pulled out this morning my Linen and Threads project. They're 2017 mystery, and I think I'm going to incorporate. These are kind of some of the colors I'm doing. I'm going to incorporate them. But if you're looking for one to kind of try out and see if you like it, a monthly club, I really highly recommend this one. They do a good job, and they're so nice. I really like stitching with those threads. So so that's kind of been my stitching life for the last few months. And like I said, for the new year, I'm going to focus on finishing my projects. I'm also participating in the chatelaine stitch along, and I want to talk about chatelaine for a minute because I was devastated when I heard, oh, it's going to make me emotional, but when I heard that Martina died, I was devastated. And when I got back into stitching a number of years ago, I discovered the chatelaine patterns by accident. And I thought that they were the most beautiful things I had ever seen. That they had sparkle in them, they had detail in them, they had beads in them, they had everything in one pattern that I loved about stitching. And I felt like I had come home. I felt like this was someone who knew me. It was weird that I was like, this person's designing exactly what I love. And then the first one I ever found was the medieval mandala, and which is all houses, which I loved even more, and that's the first one I ever bought. And I started to stitch it. The downside of that one was that I started to stitch it on linen, and it's when I discovered that I hate stitching on linen. And so I have now restarted it on even weave, and so it's not very far along at all. But that was the first chatelaine I ever did. The one I'm furthest along on is Gardens of London, her Gardens of London mandala, because I loved London, and it had everything in it that I loved. And when I finished, it's put aside right now, so I'll show you on my next video. When I stitched the center motif of it, I got why everybody loves chatelaines. I mean, I knew why I loved it, but they really, and mine doesn't have beads in it. I'm saving the beads until the end, but they are just beautiful. The detail in them and the sparkle. And when I heard that she died, my heart just broke. My heart broke because I thought, we're not going to get any more of this magic from her. And she has left us with a lot. She's left us with a beautiful, she's left a beautiful legacy that we will be able to enjoy for years and years to come. But to know that brilliance came to an end was really devastating. And so since she has passed, I ordered more of her patterns because we don't know how long that they'll be around, although I think they will be. And I'm going to participate in they're doing a stitch along in her memory next year. There's a Facebook page for it. I think it's called Martina Rosenberg Memorial Sal, if you're interested in looking up the Facebook page. And we're all going to stitch on a mirror or on a chatelaine next year in her memory. And I will think about her every stitch. And I've corresponded with her by email. I never had the pleasure of meeting her. I did correspond with her by email a few times. And come here. My dog is wondering what's going on. Come here. Oh, he might come and say hi. You might get to meet him. Come here, Bobo. Come here. Oh, he is coming. Look at, here he comes. This is Bobo. He's coming to see, he hates cameras. Oh, thank you. He hates cameras, but phone keeps ringing. I've been binge watching Will and Grace and The Middle, which is, we're coming up on the last part of the last season. I'm kind of sad about that, but went and saw the new Star Wars movie. Loved it. Loved every single second of it. I might take my nieces. I'm going to see if I can take my nieces the day after Christmas. They've already seen it, but I want to see it again, and maybe they'll go with me. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been working, stitching. It's been crazy. But I'm going to end this video now before my phone rings again and cuts the video off. So I just want to thank you all again for watching. I will be back doing my videos regular every month starting, in January I'll be back. And thank you for your patience in waiting for a new video. And I just wish you all the most wonderful Christmas, even though this will be posted after. And absolutely the best New Year. I hope good wishes for all of us in the New Year. So thank you for watching. I'll be back in touch soon. And happy stitching. Thanks. Bye.